Jaj. Ale hram. Dobre, však to nak ide búrka, takže... Renville was headed westwards along the path outside the arch. Come, we can still catch him. To je úplně jedno. Pep, Redo. Ani ho to nedrlo. Sorry, nezvyklo, dobré, ide riadna búrka. Kada mne padne elektrina. Hold a moment, I have an idea. If memory serves, that colossal vela-like structure is a logisticon beta, one of Libby Labyrinthos climate control center. It should have its own lifts, with which we one could access the upper and lower laboratories. If I were an agent of the forum, I would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Renwell in the company of a said agent, we cannot expect them to relish the importance of the nonchalantly stroll past. Now we shall have to remain undetected. If only Graha and his vanished spell were here. But there are other ways to turning invisible. Hippity hop, my little toad. Lol. Na žaby. Lol. Unaccustomed transfiguration, worry not, it will wear off with the passage of time. As you you and your grand company also hop along and catch up with Renwell. I should feel the magic fading, return to me, and I will refresh the enchantments. Lol. And what am I to do in the meantime? Right here with me, in your current state of mind, you would be as likely to leap into the jaws of predator as you would learn anything of note. Which reminds me, where the creatures hereabouts in that form, you are essentially defenseless. Okay, bude to na čas vyhnúť sa príšerom. Ribbit. Kompaniu, okej. To je quest, to tu brde. Je to na čas? 21 minut. While transfigured and accompanied by all final Melissa. Sa mi táto bublinka pokusí zrušiť to. Later affairs are not perhaps she suggests you cross the bridge. Shaky sent but nevertheless understand that this is something good of ongoing. Tam je voda, to ani nevyzerá. Aha, Jakov. Ako je to? Aha, tu hora, okej. Super. Stihol som stihol. Snad.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work, so much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Charlean scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Charlean was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Takže to priznali. Final days.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full. While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Final days, samo sebe risk.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
To bolo dobré. I suppose we should have not a cleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easy decide with. Yet he seems inclined to put his truth in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps we have discovered a new piece of the puzzle. This momentous duty that the form again mentioned. Charlian has been called the action and the teleporoi declaration was the catalyst. Whether charge it is they hope to fulfill, they deem in of sufficient import to disrupt all the labyrinths, not to mention ignore the request for aid. What do could warrant the direct involvement of the firm and the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the cleaners ever offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we will learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Ishtala and Kirill for a moment. See what they think of this. Bankujem si ten povrch. A to je zdolovaná riadne teda na toto. Ďakujem. Počkaj, ja si stepete, ja nechcem. Labyrintos, Favarenke, Kermlan. Ok, aspoň viem, čo tam bude. By the pellet. Ideme by the pellet. Pekný damage dokáže dať vonku. Neviem, prečo som si toho čato baténok nedal skôr. No, tu už stačili baténok, dobre. Welcome back at just fun to run well done. Interesting, I had a feeling you would learn something about, even if real. Yeah, even if that's something simply confirmation that no one knows much of anything. Yeah, we should share this with Krill, then discuss how we did like to proceed. Assuming we find Rebecca the farm, she was still behaving oddly, so I paid her return interest there. Yeah, perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was so interested by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas just in case we decided to wander. That's the value. Schválne som auto nenechával von. Ja moment, ja môžem ináč toto. Okay. Von z garáže, lebo som vedel, že nebude taký lejak, ale jak bláznivý. Ok, ale tie kvietky boli tu hore, nie? Jasne. 130, 213 na Instagram. Ja tam niekde to bude.
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Povedala.
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Thank you.
Lol.
Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Menphilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower, walk free, for you are free, to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
Ďakujem za klip. Videli?
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first, so weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread. Imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress.
Jak je šťastná z toho.
You can't be serious. We've done nothing wrong.
Ale nechoďte tam, ja som chcel ísť hore pre hento. Ejejej. Tápko si prišiel pre ľudí.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian, a group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered. not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
V našich radoch to môže byť
What
preložené
then is to be our
na
fate?
postrede.
Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Grah!
Gra.
But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Lebo si špinavci tam.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Jak to się nie ale vás tu je. Toto je to z tej ukážky, kde buchla s tým žezlom a povedala, že my sme bla bla bla. Neviem, čo to bolo.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together.
Tenkrát moja chyba.
I trust your time
Okay.
within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
The Forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a Forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd. From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Yes. We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Presne toto bolo v tej ukážke. Do as you must then, but we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Zeal? Horlivosť, plán, elán, okay.
Father,
Master, okay, no.
I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, By their own admission, these scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order! Master Monteshane raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldesion are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
Moc ich nie wie.
I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed. Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Well, at least we have been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigation has not been in vain. We now know what this mysterious entity of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the real sea. With our freedom so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn out more of substance here in Sharlayan. State visitor. A počkej, však ani tenkrát to nie je. Well, the world picture has grown clearer, yes, but that's in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vouch about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain directions in plain words? Yeah, survival came what may his father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family. Alfina, Alice, is that you? Imaki. When I heard I have been drugged before the forum, I came as quickly as I could. I'm so very glad they allowed you to stay. Presne, jak jsem si myslel. Millions live at your service. Millions. And you fine people must be the sons of the seven dog. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Mother, please, we don't wish to make things difficult for you. If you reach farther than you were here. Bother that. Am I to be chastised for speaking with my old children? I'm well aware that you and Master 4 are not one of the best terms at the moment, but I have been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. The time couldn't be better, as my just stand we shouldn't be going anywhere until we discuss our matters with the Tankrad's group and reconsider our options. Go visit your home. We will be back at the annex when you're ready to rejoin us. I'm not sure. What do you think? You had Had a splendid day. This has turned out to be champion of yours. I insist that you join us. Well, but we must be quick about it, not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer and the consequences. If you would be so kind as to escort my children to the estate. And then she was gone, and with her an opportunity to progress. Indeed, the matter is settled. Enjoy yourself, you there. Good trip. I apologize, my mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I'm glad relieved even to see her in such high spirit. What say you? You thought it seems we shall have a little enough time to enjoy it. Will you accompany us on our visit home? Fine, if you're going, let's get it over with. But be sure to stay in the entrance hall, no peeking into our private chambers. Thank you very much. Why ever not? Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy. Everyone has things they would rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherish the mementos you couldn't bring yourself to throw away. Childhood toys. I mean, never mind. The Livier estate is the way straight down the stairs. Come on, I'm not at all, okay? When Alice were little, this bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. It's alone, but my mother servant was always somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. And then now look at us traveling to different continents, different worlds even. As children of Inaden, I would often wait here for our father to come home from work. It mustn't be the day when he's meeting Colonel Lang, because I remember growing restless and leaning out over the railing to watch the water rush by. Your father, of course, arrived at the exact moment, compounding down the path in panic, crying out my name. Dobre, tu zahradu skipnem. Amelians. Here you are at least. Please to come in.
Welcome home, my lady.
Chyba 10.
What? What are you gawping at?
Jest all the ground, to jest science odpoczęła masę szkoły D&D.
I'll have you know I'm quite fond of the Rising Stones.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you'd accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations. Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name. It is plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
Tak ti to snad tvoje děti za každým písali. Keď ma už toľko spomínali.
When you mentioned
Jest stare
gifts, I
oblečenie.
wasn't sure what to expect.
Počkaj, nie staré, nové vlastne. To je tiež to, čo bolo v onom cutscene.
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphino.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are,
are,
however, missing one final touch.
If you would allow me, Master Alphino.
Aha, takže sú to nejaké span.
Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field.
Sekunda. Aha, dobre, to sa mi napadlo.
He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry.
Jak si šmurkla. Nice.
I am told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortunato has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Také šortky. Ja som si tiež dobrý outfit spravil. Thank you for indulging my request. I can see it in a lot of her, and I shall refrain from inquiring as the content of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief. For now, however, I will have to suffice. As will the tokens of home that we carry with us, das gift to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentally, let us return to the annex and rejoin our companions. Ja jeszcze tutaj grupę potem. Enjoyed your time with the living you, I hope. Yeah, I would ask how the twins fared, but they are new of this tell the tale. And I hope we can help them to reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret of forms as choose to hide. And the flowers bequeathed to you by the Heidelin is sure to guide us going forward. In confident that once you've scouted out of the situation in the Havnair, we will be well equipped to plot out our next move. Plot out our next move. Reaper Gorge? A to są musel dostać ale i oni. Spell, nie? Upon learning the trade enhances shroud, consuming stack of Lemmer Shroud will grant a stack Void Shroud. In their presence, z pełnego mi spapasz to. Can be consumed to execute action as Lemur Slice or Lemur Sitter. Will display the time to remain to play host to your avatar, as well as your stacks of Lemur Shroud, which are consumed to use powerful attacks such as Void Reaper and damage. When the gouge is successfully filled, you can execute the temporary surface host to your avatar. Dobra, ja som level 86. Takže asi by som mal spraviť tam tieto questy. A vieš čo spravím? Proste neponáhľam. Povedal som si, že nebudem ponáhľať s touto sériou, takže... Momentálne to bolo pri... pri tej gilde, ne? Počkaj, dokonca, okej, to bolo ten distrikt druhý. Tak nič, aha. Still, they are looking deadly enough with the sickle to make me weak at the knees. I have agreed this time we stop the puffing about and may ready to hunt our target. My lemures have been hard at work scraping together what information they can. Let's see what they've got. Everyone's here? Good. Aranagis, you've met. No further Himera-related incidents. Will be happy to hear. The overall cheaper loss over. There is Hermim. Make your acquaintance. As you know, our query is Void Sent, and he goes by the name of Orcus. He's eluded the beast by these who are a step above that. Tell us what you found. By rebels, I asked around but unsolved murders and disappearances, seeing if any involved someone matching the descriptions you provided. There's as many missing people as there are grains of sand and no shortage of strategies either. One, however, stood out among the rest. The woodcutter in the black shroud disappeared without a trace, and nobody, no belongings, nothing. Not enough occurrence by itself, but the sighting of a stranger with the skin pale as snow near his last done whereabouts piqued with our interest. Now that's promising start, but those woods are crawling with the bandits and brigands of all sorts. Though dogs and keepers are said to come in costly use. Are we sure this man ain't one of them? Sure as I have been, boss, not many bandits have eyes. The color of blood, it's much too close to ignore. I can kinda see that we have a lead. If I may, boss, are you sure we need the help of this outsider? How much trouble could one voice be? She's standing right there, for God's sake. Oh, she's right. I was told you to turn over your eye to those outside the family. She's just doing her due diligence. But trust me when I say that we need a real advantage, we can afford. I made the mistake of misjudging Orcus Strange before, and for my habits, my family and my flesh and blood family was slain. All of them. Was planning on holding that back a bit longer, but yeah, it was before the Lumers. As for one thing, I would repay the suffering 1,000-fold, and I would never let that bastard take anything from me again. I mean to keep my bows, and I trust I can count on you to help. I don't have to ask twice, boss. Your words, wounds are our ones, even the one that becomes scars. We will see your vengeance, rogue. All these years I have scrapped to make a place for us. I looked forward to the day he would pay his dues. And it ain't just for me that we know we have to hunt him down either. His blood is on the earth itself, and the longer we let it faster, the more suffering it will spread. We need to corner him now while we have chance. Are you ready? You know these woods as well as any of us. We will need your experience if we hope to be back before supper. Much appreciated. Alright, let's get to it then. Hermin, I want you here in Oldach, keeping your ear to the ground for any news of Orcus movements. Nengis, you lead us to these woodcutters disappeared. Where he disappeared. Pyreville boss, that would be the central road, so our best course would be the set of the Batman Meadows. Posledná sonka. Good made it before we set off. Allow me to share the circumstances of our Woodcopper disappearance. As I heard it, he disappeared that night on a week ago. Got lost, some surmise, but he was a recent woodsman, not some highborn traveler who forgot to buy a map. I questioned us closer to him, and none could think of a reason he might want to make himself scarce. He would make plans to meet with friends not long from now, but I expect that the promises will go unkept. It sounds like we can rule our world through departure. I believe we can. The last person to see the man alive said he took his ex and ventured northwest. Then we shall set up our trip. I'll take this magic transceiver and candle that settle. Canted like voice my favorite liver blood. Once it's lit and the phones are flying through the air, every watchman within 30 arms will come running. If it just occurs, let's give the others a shout over the transceiver. As I said before, he's seen a bit the body of a man and he can put on awful convenience. Performance when needs a must. Then give him a chance to work his wiles, or his fangs will be in your neck before you know it. As I want to accompany, I would only deliver reliability in fight. Whether you find orcos or not, the return hero never report back to Lomers. Good luck. On hunt. Opa, opačná strana. Jo, to sa dostal Čokobou, to si pamätám. OK, takže to na dně. Jen teď, čo vybehu, ale nebudem čítať. Nič. A čo ty? Proste mám to šťastie, že idem k prvým dvom, čo to nemajú. Aha. Easy. Port in hand, aha. Let us see in one piece. I know what you have in your hand. Silk drink. You said the ones I was carrying this. The drink, where did you find it? Z jeho huby to vypadlo. I see, then there can be no doubt. The patient that this law is the very same one that a murderer would cut. No doubt, are you saying? While I was searching for a place to set my traps, I spotted a shallow grave hastily dug poorly hiding. Under the thin layer of the dirt was a body matching the description of the woodcutter. A wholly nondescript fellow, save for the mark of ring removed from his finger. At last the drink was his demise. The shiny bubbles are a common fixation for whites and probably didn't spare a thought for only the price. I suppose that we can take a confront in the knowledge that I will harm no one else. But Orcus or not, I would say this expedition was successful after fashion. I should appreciate of what's the transpired. You to catch some well-earned rest. Thank you kindly. Well then, I will see you back at headquarters. To bolo viacej čítania ako niečoho robenia. Chętnie, to najbliższe. Maybe we didn't get the satisfaction I promised, but sitting here with our heads in our hands won't do us any good. Let's be happy with one less voice and spraying on helpless woodcutters. Glad to see patient for our mission. Apologize we couldn't make your first outing more memorable. We were on the cusp of ending to the decades of misery. That's how long how long ago Oculus came into this world. But again, like an animal free from his cage and leaving my family dead in his bag. Amateur Vera. His across her feet take him his hunger fellows and the realm abilities to stay. Of course, we are the only ones hunting him, but he's as clever as he is vicious, and not even the finest tracker have been able to keep on his trail for long. That was hard yet, boss. While you were away, I was making the rounds, and I might found something that will soon be afraid. Arnegis is following up on it as we speak. I swear someday that money is going to kneel over on my account. Still, there's no one else I would trust to tell me the difference between truth and hysteria. That's been said, his work takes time to do right. Use this chance to hone your skills, and if all goes to plan, next time we speak you will have golden opportunity to test them. Apologize, but you're still waiting the right to come true. There's not much for you to do around here until then, unless you have a knack for cleaning. Cleaning is good at healing out missing stories, and without but getting the truth of the stories is crafted as delicate as weaving. I'm sure you have seen firsthand how one bad bit of information can lead to elaborate plans coming apart at the seams. Sekundu. Máme toto. Áno, zatiahlo a dám si, že 50 za... Čo ešte môžem? Byliny môžem ponúknuť. Dám to isté. Pozbieraj 2 incidenty. Tak sú to nejaké aktuálne. Aha. Nie, tu nič. Ok, ja som dostal bazár. OK, to mám za sebou. Dobre, tak to bude na dlho. OK, finished. Boss. No čo sa deje? Calm down, what's getting into you? It's Arnagis, he's been murdered. What? Tell me what I heard, that's wrong. I'm afraid not. The brass plates found him half buried in the sand, not bells gone, just lying there like some bloody animal carking. They're bringing him the early buried chamber as we speak. This doesn't know the reckoning they've got coming. Before I'm done with them, they will begin to crawl back into their mother's paw. I want just as much as you, Herman. I do, but it's time. It is times like this we need to look to the boss for guidance. Trish, as you can see, your emotions are running high. I should stay here until Herman's call off. Can you let the boss know we're standing by and waiting for a command? Respect. Hai ten chamber pri traumago. Sorry, I ain't in the mood for a chit chat. A to teda vidím. Where's the bloody keeper? The dead must let it rest. The dead's going to have one more among them if you don't shut the breastplate broke in body not long ago. The dead's going to have one more among them. Okay. Yes, that they did, but are you a descendant family? If not, I'm afraid we cannot. Family. Argue was like a son to me. Like a stone, or that would be is interred in innermost coffin. However, I must advise you not gaze upon the body. Madam, if she insisted, then so be it. Go down. I told you not to go and get yourself. Don't you? This isn't for you. To musí být riadne rozšlahaný typek. I'm sorry for bargaining in here for all the bluster. If you can forgive my rudeness, promise me that I get you sent of well and proper. Of course you will, however, if you wish to enter in the city gates, well, such a photo space comes on a small expense. I don't care what it costs, just send your man to Lumor's headquarters to collect what you require. Yeah, I appreciate you coming to find me, but there's someone else I have to speak with first. I'm heading to Stone's Throw. Come along if you please, but come along in silence. Někoho navštívit a podrezat mu krk. Pravděpodobně. OK, tak ale to bude asi bližší tady. Minigun, vážně? Typek se volal Minigun. This is where the five parents are living. Best get his over there. Let's get that. to get over this. Please never forget the detective on you, detective report on you. Even so, his loyal run ever deeper than that. It's strange thing. It is a strange thing to look back on the people we were. A decade younger and a lifetime more foolish. Young lovers, proud patriots, blissful, ignorant, returning to locus Ammoneus, the cradle of our people. The triumphant homecoming for Gerlins after centuries in exile. The once mighty invaders have been laid low and driven back whence they come. And it was a banner day when Argus was honored with the post here. The honor and pride quickly faded when we saw the truth of Locus Ammoneus. We hadn't just defeated our enemies. We had clapped them in irons and commanded them to life of servitude. Descendant of those who would drive on our ancestors not so many generations ago, made to pay for the crimes of their forebears. His superiors were certainly pleased with the poetry of it all. Aranagis, however, could not simply look away from this suffering, let alone take pleasure in it. Confronted with the reality of the place we would call home, this conscience demanded to take action. He began cooperating with the resistance, but the eyes of the Frumentarium are all-seeing, and before long he was ousted as the sympathizer. It was only by the grace of God fortune that we escaped with our lives. I have often lain awake at night, wondering if he had outlived his usefulness to the resistance, or perhaps it was a pretty senior officer that has shed our fall. Regardless of the cause, the outcome was the same. We could never return to the Empire. We fled theirs by way of Ratshan. The only road open to us. Wasn't soon after stepping foot on the docks of Limsalamisa that year locker ran out, as I recall, stopped by logic and accused of being Imperial spies. But we still managed to make an escape. We ran and ran, terrified that our pursuit would one day catch on us. This is until we met you. Had you not taken us under your wing, when you did, I shudder to imagine our fate. Forget it is the last thing I deserve lost. If I hadn't sent Aranagis off on my damned fool errand, he would still be alive. It was Orcus that killed him, and no mistake. He died for my vengeance. I cannot tell you how sorry I am. No, you needn't apologize, I know he was happy. So long as he was helping you, he was happy. The blame for his death doesn't rest on your shoulders. It rests on the man, the monster that murdered him in cold blood, and I expect you to see he answers to his crimes for me and the Aramagis. I will ask. I will on days where I think that I have to spell. We need to talk somewhere with the fellow praying guys. Come meet me at the bridge to the north. Bastardi. Marmot. Počkej, svišť? Nie. Áno, nie svišť. Bobor, bobor. Marmot. Mama. Svišť. Dobre hovorím, svišť. Čas hodín. And apologies you for not telling everything about me and because from the start. I drag you into the fight against the foe that cunning, brutal, and truly merciless. I thought with all of us together we would tip the scale in our favor. But I was wrong, and Anargis paid the price for my beats. The white center was tracked in the black shirt was likely one Orcus minions, but I was to catch up in my grand scheme to realize it at the time. I shouldn't thought about why it tried to hide the body. Your command white center wouldn't have to go to bury or kill. But what if Orcus thought it that is the way the throne the focus of its ascent and the globate for me and mine? Orcus has used the same trick in the past. He knows that he know it too. By dispatching his minions, withdraw his attention. Ren was warning. Orcus doesn't give his press with that. He toys with them, cuts into them, and stars the screen. That's how I know he was responsible. It's like signature that the way he lives, and the bodies when he's had his fill. Heavenly prayer doesn't take the suffering with him to next life. Orcus will be coming for your me next, nor right away though. They would give in up the game. He wants us to keep looking over our shoulders, sleeping with one eye open. He will wear us down without the lifting finger. And when he finally strikes, he will be dead on our feet. Play things for him to do with as he please. That won't do. We need to bring the fight to him. No more waiting around for a lead to come to us. It won't be easy, but can I still count on your help? Samozrejme. Pomstíme ho. Thank you. And if you have got no qualm risking life and limb to fight for Aranagis to fight for me, then I've got no qualm calling you a member of my family. Family, there's a word to that. Vyzerá jako Asian, ale minimálně je to Garlin. Bloody, it's him, you Orcus. Some persons when you blink at my tail, I should have known by this century it was you and yours receiver, or should I call you granddaughter? What? Shut him up, you are damned monster. Monster, is that way to greet your beloved elder children these days? Hmm? It seems one that wasn't punished enough for your second should suffice for his strength to remind of your being. You're ending this here and now. Follow my lead. I thought we might save our mission for a while longer, but if you insist, I shall feast upon your breathing heart here and now. Take me. And not but the dregs left in the decision vessel of yours. Too long has the height been left in the sun. But your family has been playing with red blood, I see. My, and what boundless souls this one has. Your system may be dull, but your eyes is sharp as ever. Everything gets the sun, pure as snow. Delectable as a boar. Okay, super, že si mi to skipal. Nic sa nestlačil, ale okay. I had thought to make a weaker meal of you, but perhaps I just had his own forbearance is involved. Suggesting for a spiceman but must be given time to fatten to fulfill its succulent potential. Would be to traverse harvesting to consume you achieve perfection. Fingers always rub with fingers swollen with hatred and feet the boast with despair. I shall return for you. And I shall go. Until the time slip well, my growing well, hope. Father Enedley quest. Cause this ball, all the bones, he was right in front of me. I couldn't end it in one swing. For a moment, just one moment, I saw it all again. My family started lying at his feet. My life slipping away, and that was enough. Doubtless you have more than a few questions. I will answer them, I promise, but now it's time to trust me. It's not time to trust me. Sending a kick in the center won't change what's done. Let's return to headquarters and let the wind go overhead. Then we can consider our next course of actions. Jezus, to jsem blbo spravil. Level 9. Weaver skill. Trochę špatný máme. To je takové z takého levelu. 75. It was my own fault. If I hadn't stood there slugshot, if I wasn't so damn slow, we would be rid of the abomination once and for all. But is so used to be my grandfather before Orcus took over. He looks green enough to be my own grandchild now. Tricks of the void alike is not. It is not a secret that the deep voice center doesn't want to devour you. It probably wants to take possession of your flesh.
Piwo? Chcesz piwo?
Napoli.
No.
No. But Orcus has a particular talent for it. As Douglas summoned his god and insatiable craving for it. Killing is only prelude to the act of cooping down our sense like the throat of ill after their work. He's old, I can't say exactly how old, and he's acquired taste for the fine things. Seems your soul counts among the finest he's ever seen. Things just keep getting better for us, don't they? Is that so? Used to be in a price peak, are we? Enrolled? It's clear that. Aké to je?
Dobré, také malinové či aké to je. Ale tu bude, si musím kúpiť ten citronový čas. Vieš?
No.
Tak.
Enrolled is 7. I'm not even in the middle of the day. Keep your eyes peeled and watch over your tribes days. We are sitting chocobos for the moment, but I will think of something and send for you as soon as I can. Until then, never sleep far from your seat. Jo, každé tři to boli. Glad to see you, Orcus hasn't sunk his feet into here yet. Don't go thinking he's given up on trying though. He's out there soaring you from distance. Can resist checking in on his price just as he can't resist seeking out morsels to tide him over till his feast. The reports we have received of the man bells as the skulking about the sense is proof of that. And then there's a matter of this blonde desert. We don't know who sent it, but we do know what it means. More fool than they have no notion of that harvest and lived, thinking we will hit soil our small clothes over empty trees. Let's hope it's nothing more than that. Let's think as we need to follow up those reports sooner than later. Anyone face it? A bit of fresh air. If you catch whiff of or closer fall stench, all the better. I wanted to ask around near the Black Shroud base station, and I will head to the stone throw. When you're done, meet me there, and we will share what we have dug up. I recognize self-asserts the mark of more women ready to take on the world and then some. You must be the Resin Reaper, the bosses and the word about. Tak. Pekné mounty mali henty dva. I am almost disappointed to tell you nothing is amiss. The soldiers is in me would have allowed to see Reaper in action. As fought in the Imperial Army, thought I wouldn't think it to look at me now. I served proudly under Lord Valence in my oath, until the day he ordered us to use common folk as fodder in some pointless skirmish. I refused, and I was stanced to death by my candor. Needless to say, I didn't keep that appointment. Compared to that evil, toothless streets and costs are no bother. But lass jaded are more acceptable. One lass in particular has been jumping shadows. She claims to have seen all manners of terrors, but I suspect she would have started by her own reflection. Still, if you wanted to let any out of her delusion, you can find her in the last hope. Nebyla to jaskině? Yeah. Oh, hello, how are you? Oh, there was some miss you? Úradný list, prípis, okay. She sent someone to rid of us disagreeably while waiting in the wings. Truly, she cares for us as if we really were her flesh and blood, which is more than I can say about my own. Not once have I longed to return to the life of comfort I left behind the grounding, and I have Drusilla to thanks for that. She isn't the reason I left home in the first place, of course. Had I not met my beloved, I would likely still be feasted on a lemon cake in ignorance of life or freedom. I found the former in Germland and the latter in Rosa. Sovereign love bloomed into something beautiful. Not every day has been easy, not even on most days. But your watchful eye has kept us safe, and our freedom is worth any measure of hardship. Such terrible fear gripped my heart when my beloved told me of the pale man he spied on the sands. But now the family has come to help. I can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm sure you wish to know precisely where to find that horrid creature, but I cannot help half so well as my beloved might. Seek him in the southeast and pray put the end of the nightmare. Dandy. Thought the bit miss the hunted down no tree, tracking the scent of cry aggregate. In darkest night, cry for keeper. Low by your side, she walks the reaper. What the fuck? An apology for the exclusive display, friend. I'm a poet, you see, and can resist putting into words the flood of emotion that accompany such a striking figure as yours. What did I? Yeah, from the way sense the position of it powerful. Okay. Охраним вас, я стража. Иду. Easy. Thank you, my server and my goddess Kotsen. But that I could have aided you, but also the poet pen is little use in battle. Unless, of course, the battle involves not swords and scissors, but words. Just ask the sire of my beloved, who is even now licking the wounds dealt by the invective verse. I composed after he had the goal to forbid our union, a masterwork of skating metaphor and subtle remonstration. Alas, for all their protestations, nobler anything possible. In their age, we were forced to flee to abandon our homes with only our law for sustenance. Nevertheless, I have regretted not a single moment of our life in exile. In Rosa we found unexpected freedom of mind and freedom of heart. But at this degree, surely you did not seek me out simply to save my life and live with another smile. Do you wish to commission a poem? Nope, thanks. The pale man, I remember we still wandering this right west in search of inspiration. I felt the gaze of some terrible presence upon my back, and when I turned to meet it, he was standing there grinning like a butcher in the boat. He wore much too thick for those scorched sands, and his skin looked as if it had been kissed by the blessing sun. Worst of all, his eyes were as two bottomless pools of blood. I fear my end has come, but then he vanished and quickly he had appeared. Perhaps it had been reckless. But recent incidents make it clear that the cost of inspiration is higher than I'm willing to pay. I shall return my beloved for both of my safety and hers. Thanks again, my saber. Ja, to idem vlastne k bráne. Tak nie k bráne ešte k tomu. There you are, and another one of his accomplishments. Well, I suppose we can take comfort in the fact that none of the family come to harm, yourself included. Well done. Speaking of which, what do you think of this family you've been thrust into? Speak really, I haven't lived this long by talking offensive opinions I don't want to hear. Takes more than a brute strength for folks to survive. None of them ever fit for life under the Emperor's brute, and that's good enough for me. Much as the LinkedIn types might tell you otherwise, people like to have a say in the life they lead. That's what separates us from those books over there. Berniquist workers drones breathe intervals ingrained so deeply they wouldn't know how to live otherwise for the glory and prosperity of the hive. But we have got it used to be different. Might be born into farming, soldiering, or politicking, but we can choose to walk different path whenever the fancy should strike. Taint in your nature to accept our lot without question. No, we have to believe in something, put our faith in it. Only then we will deign to march instead. And indeed, Fate of Savage Strip is one way to get us dancing to the same tune. But might be compelled through faith in logical rollout, intangible, invisible, yet cause enough for killing and conquering if it suits the queen. The invaders have fulfilled our pride for 8 centuries. No longer we march for locus amenoros. With a few right words, his radiance also Zone Galvus kept the hive into frenzy. Once that fire is burning, the passion of measure can soon be quelled. What was once a wish for home become a holy mission to spread element which would not suffer such beliefs as the beastman held. Countless scores rendered up their lives on the altar of empire, until the entire continent was a unit under a single magitek fist. I'm awoke to see it for tyranny it was. My grandfather ruled the secluded. The tales of the reapers are passed down through bloodline. Rule was the best of us, the most accomplished and feared in the order, a long history. The duty of the reapers, our role in the hive, if you will, was to deliver our countrymen from corrupt and power-hungry tyrants. Having grown found religion in conquest, it appeared appetite grow to be insta people. My grandpa dread this conundrum for many sleeps night and came to decision he would relive Solgos Galvus of his life. Also, Snuggle Zabby 20 years ago, he slipped into the deepest chamber of the Imperial Palace, silent as shadow until he could hear the Emperor breathing out. Yet when I returned to me, Souls was alive and well. My grandfather, on the other hand, had skittiness to his step, and his black hair had turned to pale white. He said no of his encounter with the Emperor, save the most powerful man in Gremlin, who was no man at all. Shamed in his defeat, my grandfather sought greater power. Bit by bit, he gave more of himself over the voids and behind his avatar. Celkem zajímavé. Orcus struck when Rulus was the weakest, taking his flesh and soul in one fell swoop. When he was finished, not a mote of my grandfather remained in that body. There was only Orcus. The fiend fell into Rapturo's frenzy, and my family were his first victim. I remember the chill of his teeth skinning into my flesh, gnawing until they reached my very essence. Why am I standing here before you then? Orcus gorged on a soul that night, but it wasn't mine, not exactly. It was my avatar that filled his belly. Seems that was all he could stomach. Some might consider that like a twist of fate, but I had little time to ponder. My fortune fled as soon as I was able. His radiance never looked kindly on those trying to end his life or their families. I wandered about 4 years until I settled here and started seeking out others like me, others who had awoken from the Empire's dream. Lemurs is what we call the spirit of the dead in the Karelian tongue. Fitting. Na to vlastně maskované, to je vidno ten zahyb. Monica, if there was one. Waking up from the long sleep ain't unlike climbing out the grave. I can attest to that. Son of bleeding, remind me not to give such a long-winded speech when the scent is blowing in my face. I'm heading back for some else see the hot spots. Čo ti jebe, však ani nehovor, však tu kecaš už 15 minút, tak nevyše. Iba ty. Však ten quest robím 20 minút. Vlastne sa mi to neoplatí tam teleportovať. Však v podstate ja budem aj tak teleportovať. Lebo to nie je to. Ja tak utekám špatne, že? Nič nové. Welcome back, boss. How was the family? Shaken but unharmed aside from some tussle hair and manglevers, Orcus left one of his minions behind his gift. Body made quick work of it. I always said she was keeper. You have an eye for the fairness of heart. I beg her she could slay Orcus all on her own. Not that we had let her take all the glory. Course we wouldn't. We will be there when Orcus tries to take his prize. I don't think we will be waiting long either. Orcus said he would strike when he was ripe with the fear and hatred and despair, seasoning his load to forego. Ivan in calling how he might try to draw now. Right, you are Drusilla. I mean, in did you mourn your lost avatar, the wellspring of your power? Can I say it was quite a dish. Quite a dish. I think I know how to move so much as a finger and her head will hit the floor. Oh, that's it. That fire. I want to see it burn. I want to see it rage. I want to see the hatchet steep into the depths of your soul. Shall I make this your final grave or this one? It is also very hard to choose. Pěkná kosa snad dostaneme. I was right and not the cue in my bizarre instincts that allowed the thoughts of your taste to simmer in my mind as you and Drusilla found bound a kindship even. Born from the understanding of her inconsequential ideals that you may better appreciate the bitter loss. But perhaps I should wait a while longer to let the flavor of your hatred match and the tang of your Melissa repent. I can make users say at revel in her screams, exult in her misery, and how splendid it will be. All the while my prize piglet growing fatter with all the ends come on with the Lord. Patents reward the dutiful gourmand after all, when tantalizing favor has fully measured a short time, and I shall reap my harvest. To vystraší, no. Ok, ideme sa zajtra, čus. Ale počkaj, to ona nedokončila, aha. Guess down what's my bastard souls piece of shit. That's the spirit. Alright, we need the plan. First thing first, we found our Oracle is hiding. The rest of the family should be able to help with that. In the meantime, you need to prepare. I know you're good, but we can't leave the boss life the chance. Sharp your skill and your city. Then sharpen them once more. The boss can do naught against Orcus without her avatar, and that's when you will have to do the heavy lifting. Of course, I will do what I can to afford you an advantage. You can count on that. For Drusilla. Okay, tak čus.